Hello, College of the Desert students. Wendy Ansley here, kinesiology professor. I look forward to sharing with you a challenging and fun and diverse yoga flow today. We'll call it yoga flow to boost your inner strength. And we are going to explore postures that are really going to do that. They actually tie in and really boost your core, your inner strength. So that's the heart of this flow. I want to share with you some benefits about boosting your inner strength. Well, yoga is a gift, and I love to share it with you, and I love to practice it with you. Every time I step on the four corners of my mat is an opportunity for me to reflect within and explore the postures and connect to the breath. And when I do this, I'm being kind to myself. And at the heart of developing inner strength and resiliency is kindness to oneself. There is a natural power of kindness, and it unleashes a natural protective strength that we all have just by starting to be kind to ourselves. It's a natural protective strength that helps us in how we respond to others. But I want to share with you that when we practice kindness, which is free to do, it is a gift. And it seeps into our bloodstream, a natural hormone called oxytocin seeps into our bloodstream throughout our body. That's what kindness does. And it helps us reduce anxiety. So here we go. Boosting, exploring our inner strength through the gift of yoga and our yoga postures. And we will get started here at the edge of our mat here, and we're going to do 2 cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Beautiful. And we'll do 2 quarter Sun Salutations here. Inhale, draw those arms up, energy out the fingertips. Exhale, we're gonna swan dive down into a dynamic forward fold. Heel and toe, heel and toe. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the shins, the thighs, or the ground. Gaze forward and down, the tailbone is out and back. Come into a deep forward fold, come more to that midfoot here, and breathe into the back side of the body. We're going to inhale, exhale through the nose in our postures, surrendering to the postures, reaping the benefits. Gently swan dive up and open our chest, open our hearts. Exhale, heart center. Beautiful. Again, inhale, draw those arms up, energy out the fingertips. Exhale, swan dive down into another dynamic forward fold, heel and toe, still awakening. Inhale, halfway lift, hands, shins, thighs to the ground, tailbone out and back. Exhale, forward fold. Come more to that midfoot, hips over the ankles and the knees. Breathe into that back side of the body. Gently bend the knees, open the chest, open the heart. Exhale, heart center. Beautiful. Throughout our practice today, later we're going to go to a wall, but if you have a block, I'd like you to use it. For some of you might need help getting into this prayer squat. So some of you, if this is a tough one, this is a beautiful hip and hamstring opener. The heels are a little bit wider than hip width apart and the toes are out as we explore Malasana. Inhale, we're going to draw those arms up. Exhale, we're going to lower elbows inside the knee. The back is flat and long. If you do not need the block, you can move it away. Beautiful. Press those elbows inside the knees and look up. I'm often, when I look at your own videos, some of you tend to slump forward, and I really want you to root through the four corners of the feet and draw length in the spine. You can really feel the breath on the inhale from the tailbone through the crown of the head. And the exhale as it comes back down the spine, melting into the ground. We'll stay here several breaths. To continue to warm up and prepare for our practice, we're going to take those hands and curl them over the toes of the feet. And we're going to, on the exhale, straighten the legs. And on the inhale, look up. Exhale, straighten those legs. And the inhale, chest up, look up. On the exhale, straighten those legs. Inhale, chest up, look up. Exhale, straighten those legs. Last time, inhale, chest up, look up. Elbows on the inside. Draw length in the spine. Framing the feet here. We're going to come into a diagonal, the left foot. We're going to frame the left foot. We're going to come into a diagonal expression where the right knee comes towards the ground. I'm still on my mat here. Plantar flexion of the back foot. Maybe 1 to 2 dynamics as I awaken. And I'm going to keep that left hand on the hip and I'm going to draw that right arm up. And I feel it's like a little lateral flexion. Maybe I can come to the ground here. And I'm drawing that right hip forward. I'm releasing the front of the pelvis here, the psoas, and I'm rotating the kind of that, drawing that pinky in. The whole body is connected. I'm going to stay here several breaths. Gently release. Hands going to come on the inside. I'm kind of in a form of a runner's pose. The back leg is straight. I'm coming back into Malasana here as I explore. Elbows on the inside of the knees. I'm drawing length in the spine. Framing the right foot, diagonal expression. The left leg is coming back down. Plantar flexion, maybe 1 to 2 dynamics, just a little exploration. Keep that right hand on the hip. Draw that left arm up. Possibly lower the right hand to the ground. Continue to draw that left hip forward. So we have a lateral little expression here. But we're drawing the left hip forward, releasing the psoas, connecting to the upper body as well, drawing length in the spine in this lateral flexion. Gently release. Hands come to the middle. Runner's pose. Come back into this Malasana expression as we're really awakening. Elbows on the inside. Hands to the heart. Framing the left foot. We're going to take that right leg back, another diagonal expression here. So it's a diagonal expression here. I'm going to come up and I'm going to take that right arm under the left. Palms come up, thumbs to the hairline, elbows up by the shoulders, and I'm going to release Garudasana arms here. And as I draw my palms forward, I want you to feel that release in the upper back. Stay here several breaths. Gently release. Hands on the inside, back leg is straight. Connect to beautiful Malasana again. Set elbows on the inside. Nice and strong. Beautiful. Gaze up. Framing that right foot. Take that left leg back. Lower the left knee to the ground. Draw that left arm underneath the right this time. Beautiful. Thumb to the forehead here, or to the hairline, and come forward. Now draw those palms forward. Keep the elbows in line with the shoulders, and take that upper back. Release it, and also connect to that left hip, releasing. Eagle arms, Vasithasana arm. The whole body is connected. Gently release. Hands on the inside, back leg is straight. Connect into Malasana. Hands to the heart, draw length in the spine. Exploring a growth in this posture, a little twist. We're going to take the right hand in front of the right shin, and we're going to draw that left arm up. Beautiful. So both palms are facing forward. I'm gazing up at that left hand, so it's a little bit of a twist here. Beautiful. Really preparing for our practice. Hands come back heart center. Draw that left arm in front of the left shin and draw that right arm up. Gaze up at the right hand. Back into Malasana again. Draw length in the spine. Root through the four corners. Feel those arches in the feet. Inhale, I want you to root and rise. Beautiful. Feet together or hip width apart. One cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. Hands heart centered. Just take a moment to set your intention. Lowering your head to your fingertips. Reflect on the gift of yoga, the inner strength we each have, and the gift of kindness. Take a moment and set your own personal intention of your practice today. Gently look up, beautiful. As we can continue to explore our inner strength. Inhale, we're going to draw both arms up. Possibly palms together. I like to take my thumb and index sometimes, gazing up, but yet drawing my shoulders away from the ears. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, we're going to swan dive down into a forward fold. Inhale, happy. On the exhale, I'm going to frame the feet. I'm stepping back into plank. Inhale as I'm in plank. Heels over the balls of the feet, shoulders over the wrists, belly button to the spine. Active quadriceps, active shoulders. The whole body is engaged. Exploring plank, we're going to draw the right knee to the left tricep and pause. Step back. On the exhale, we're going to draw the left knee to the right tricep and pause. Inhale, step back. On the exhale, draw the right knee to the left tricep and pause. We're really engaging those obliques here. Inhale, step back. On the exhale, we're going to draw the left knee to the right tricep. And pause and come into plank. Beautiful. Stay here several breaths. Gather energy from the ground. The whole body is engaged in this beautiful core awakening. Gently release. Coming to all fours, we're going to explore tabletop into puppy dog. I like to have my hips over my knees and tuck my toes. I'm going to walk those palms forward, pressing the palms into the ground and resting the forehead onto the ground. This is a shoulder therapy to release the shoulders, but it's also heart melting pose. If you can, lower the chest and the chin to the ground, or just simply keep the forehead onto the ground. It's a little hip opener, nourishing the spine, nourishing the heart, and releasing our shoulders. Stay here several breaths. Building upon our inner strength and kindness. Gently release as I come back into tabletop. Maybe the palm's a few inches forward of that. I'm going to lead with those hips, and I'm coming into down dog here. Pressing through the palms, drawing length in the spine. Shoulder blades down the back ribs, and I'm firming those thighs. The feet are about hip width apart here. Firming those thighs, heels in line with the pinky toes. Breathe into any stiffness, any pain. Continue to inhale, exhale through the nose. Gently release. Walk the hands and the feet towards one another. Inhale, halfway lift. And shins, thighs are ground. Exhale, come into forward fold. Come more to that midfoot. Gently bend the knees. Open the chest. Open the heart. Exhale, heart center. As I mirror you, guys, we'll do this together. We'll first start off with just regular tree here. So it's going to be your left foot onto the ground. This is where you root through the four corners of the left foot. We're going to explore Vasithasana tree. We're going to take your right foot and either place it low on the calf, or we're going to guide that right foot and place it up high. Good. And we're going to take the hands on the hips and work on drawing that bent leg, your right knee, and leveling the pelvis and actually opening the hip. And you're going to work on taking that standing leg and drawing that femur head in. Once our pelvis is level, we become heart centered. Once we're heart centered, we can draw those arms up. Out of the tree the same way we come into the tree. Gently release. Cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. The beautiful thing about tree is it really stabilizes the standing leg and allows us just to kind of explore that inner strength. So now we're going to root through the four corners of your right foot. And right ahead, think about drawing that femur head in. We're gonna take that left bent foot, that bent leg, and either place it on the inside of the calf or even a little bit lower, or we're gonna guide it and place it up high. Sometimes it's a little bit harder in our exercise tights. Sometimes the shorts work better. Hands to the hips, and this is where I want you to level the pelvis as we abduct that bent leg. Engage that femur head of the standing leg. You're really strengthening the glute medius. If we can, draw the hands to the heart. Continue to abduct that bent leg. Find your driste, find your gaze. And then if you can, draw those arms up, get shoulders away from the ears. Draw length in the spine. Continue to open that bent leg and engage the standing leg strong. Find your breath. Come out of the tree the same way you came into that tree. Hands heart centered. Slowly the hips and come back down. Cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Coming to the edge of the mat, we're going to explore Vasitasana, side plank. Inhale, draw those arms up. Energy out the fingertips. Exhale, we're going to swan dive down into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Back is flat, gaze forward and down. Framing the feet, we're going to exhale as we step back into plank. Inhale as we come into plank. Engaging the core, beautiful. Gently lower to the knees as we explore Vasithasana here. The right hand is in line with that right knee and my shoulder is over the heel of the hand. Sometimes I like to just to make sure my humerus head, I actually almost touch it to make sure that it's in. For the beginners, we're going to press outer edge of that back foot and we're going to keep the hand on the hip and we're going to stay here. More advanced, if you want to practice pressing the knife edge of that foot, feet are stacked. Good. Feet are stacked and we're lifting the bottom hip. Eventually, wherever we are, some of us can even practice in the beginning version extending that arm. Gazing forward or gazing up. Shoulders are stacked over one another and we are really lifting that bottom hip. Beautiful side plank. Beautiful inner strength. Gently release. Come into plank. Connect. Beautiful. Lowering onto the knees here. Left knee. We have the hand kind of in line with the knee here. Shoulder over the heel of the hand. And this is where I sometimes tap into that left shoulder just to make sure the humerus head is engaged. Beginners, we're going to press outer edge of that extended leg, keep the hands on the hips, and I like to tuck the toes of that bent leg. Eventually, some of us may explore our inner strength. As we press outer edge of the left foot, we stack the feet, we flex them on top of one another. We abduct, we lift that bottom hip, and eventually we extend that arm. The shoulders are stacked over one another. The shoulder blades are almost packed and stacked. And eventually we might even lift up, but continue to lift the bottom hip. We're strengthening the glute medius and we're strengthening the lateral stabilizers of the lower spine, the quadratus lumborum. Continue to stay here several breaths. Gently release. Come back into plank. More engagement. Lower to tabletop as we explore Hatasana Puppy Dog. Walk the hands forward. The hands are about shoulder width apart. We press through the palms. Hips are over those knees. We rest the forehead to the ground. Good. Heart melting pose. If we can, we lower our chest and chin to the ground. One thing to work on, only when you can lower your chest and chin to the ground, keeping the hips over the knees. Eventually, you might explore straightening the legs, really coming into this kind of more advanced Hatasana Puppy Dog pose. Heart melting, nourishing the spine, shoulder therapy. Gently release. Walk the palms forward a few inches. Lead with those hips. Come into down dog. Let's do a cleansing breath together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Stay here several breaths. Walk the hands and the feet towards one another at the same time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come into deep forward fold again. Hips over the ankles and the midfoot. Gently bend the knees, swan dive up. Open the chest, open the heart. Exhale, heart center. We're going to explore Vasithasana again, this time on a block. It's kind of fun. If you don't have a block, you just do it on the ground, right? The block is great for people that have practiced a little bit more, or those that just want to, build a little bit more strength. So we'll start with the left foot onto the block. My toes are off the edge of the left block. And I'm activating the arches of my left foot as I mirror you here together. And then we're going to draw either the right foot lower, or we're going to work on drawing that right foot higher. Hands to the hips. This is where we abduct that bent right leg, but yet we draw the femur bone in of the left leg. Hands to the heart. And if we can, draw the arms up. Find your drishti. Find your gaze. Hands come back by the heart. Beautiful, gently release. So proud of you guys. Cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. Boosting your inner strength. Exploring kindness. Root through the four corners of the right foot. Draw that left foot either lower on the inside of the calf. And if you can, guide it. Feel on the inside of the thigh. Sometimes I take that foot on the inside of the thigh and I press to help me open that hip. Level my pelvis. Hands to the heart. Draw that femur bone in of the standing leg. Engage the outer glute. Find your drishti. Find your gaze. Perhaps draw those arms up. heart center. Way to explore your balance. Cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. Exploring the balance here, we're going to come into Purvo Tanasana. In Purvo Tanasana, incline plank, your whole body is in balance. It's really strengthening the back side of the body, strengthening the posterior deltoids, right? Again, opening the chest and even stretching out the fronts of the feet. So we'll start with the beginning version, and most of us feet are hip width apart. I actually kind of rotate those big toes in just slightly. We're gonna explore reverse tabletop. The palms, fingers are pointed towards us, okay? We're gonna inhale, draw length. On the exhale, we're pressing up, lifting up. We wanna lift those hips, have those the sacrum in line with the knees. The shoulder blades kind of are drawn towards one another, and as you push into the ground, you feel that stretching of the chest. When you can, you relax the head. Continue to lift those hips, strengthen the back side of the body. A few of you who get into this easily can extend those legs straight, press through the inner arches, lift the hips, engage the chest, engage the shoulders. Gently lower. Come out of the pose. Beautiful. Little cleansing breath where we are. Inhale. Exhale. Almost just to reverse the effects of that pose sometimes. I keep my feet, my knees are bent, and I draw my head towards my knees. And I clasp around those elbows, and I just kind of broaden my back here. And I collapse my chest just a bit as we counter this pose. Stay here several breaths. Beautiful. We're going to warm up our hands in a hand dance. So we're in tabletop, knees hip width apart. I like to tuck my toes. My hands are under my shoulders. And I'm rocking forward and back. Now we're strengthening the wrists. We're strengthening our forearms. We're strengthening our hands, the hand dance. We're boosting upon our inner strengths. With our actions, we can use our hands, right, to help others. Fingers move away from one another, and we're rocking forward and back. Beautiful. Fingers towards us, and rocking forward and back. Beautiful. The reason we're warming up this hand dance, it's all about self-care, being prepared, prevention. Draw the fingers towards us and rock forward and back still. But we are also going to explore Adho Mukha Vrikshasana, which is upside down tree. So today's about exploration, inner strength, kindness. Beautiful. Take the tops of the hands, fingers towards one another, rocking forward and back, forward and back. Putting a little bit of weight into those wrists, into those hands, preparing them for a vigorous practice. We've been doing some great planks. Now, fingers come towards one another. We rock forward and back. Fingers move away from one another and we rock forward and back. circle those hands. Here we circle, good, beautiful. So we're gonna find a spot along the wall. So I'm gonna give you, if you need to pause the video, but you're gonna find a spot along the wall for you to practice on. So I've got my wall nearby. And we're gonna take a block if you have one, because we definitely are gonna continue to connect to the core a little bit as we explore the hollow body hold. This is an amazing little exercise. We're gonna transition into that. The block is shoulder height, and see how I'm just kind of holding the block here. Beautiful. Ankles, knees, and shins are together. We're gonna exhale into the pose. This is where I try to keep those heels onto the ground. And the block is shoulder height. We're gonna lower onto the back, and this is the hollow body that we're gonna prepare, okay? The lower back is gonna be glued onto the back, onto the ground, and you hold up the extremities, the arms and the legs. So we glue the lower body onto the ground, the lower back, it's like a banana. Arms are up by the ears and the legs are up about 45 degrees here. Glue, glue, glue. We're gonna stay here a while. Compress that spine. This symbolizes the fulcrum, to hold those arms, to hold those legs. Beautiful core strength. Will come into play with our handstands. We're going to stay here a little bit longer. Gently relax, and we're going to explore this again. So just lower the head onto the ground. Kind of relax. I hear a little construction in the background, but that's okay. That is just symbolizing us building strength within. The ability to practice yoga amongst, stimuli is an example of really being mindful and focusing. Here we go again. Glue the lower back, arms up by the ears, legs up 45 degrees. We're gonna stay here, compress the lower spine into the ground. Draw this hollow body, hold this little banana shape. Glue the lower back into the ground. We're gonna stay here a while. Gently release. Beautiful. Okay, so now we've done this a couple times in this class. Generally we have, but let's go over it again. The handstand on the wall, the L handstand. So here we put our back against the wall, and we take our block to about where our heels are. And this block will symbolize where our hands go, okay? So back against the wall, block to the heel of the hand. Let me just demonstrate before we get into it. And obviously safety wherever we are is important. Some of you guys might just be a little bit here, okay? But eventually we try to get the hips in line with the feet there. It makes an L, and I gaze at my hands, then I gaze at the chest, at the wall here, and I engage my chest and shoulders. I feel as I gaze at that wall, the chest and shoulders, and then I look back at the hands, and I hold. Eventually, more advanced, I'll just demonstrate one here. We'll practice lifting one leg up. This is a great tool to practice and straighten that leg. And the other leg is a great tool to practice. But most of us are simply going to stay here, engaging the chest and the shoulders. Okay, so let's explore this. You found your marker. hands by the block. Come up to that wall. I'm trying to get into this little L shape. Gaze at the hands. Now gaze at that wall. Engage the chest and shoulders. Then gaze back at those hands here. And we're gonna hold here a while. Core stability, core strength. An amazing, challenging exercise, the handstand, to strengthen the shoulders, the hands, the core, the entire body. Hold about 10 more seconds here. Maybe some of you explore one leg at a time. Gently lower. Way to strengthen that lower body, that upper body, head to core. Whole body's involved. Let's come into a wide-legged child's pose. Big toes touching wide in the knees. Send those hips back. Rest the forehead onto the ground. Gently release. Beautiful. We're going to explore the splits here. So we'll come in tabletop, maybe come up a little bit higher on the mat here so we don't deal with the wall here. Beautiful. We might even have a block or two nearby because we're going to explore the splits. And if you know you like the blocks, we'll have them nearby. Lead with those hips, come into our down dog. Beautiful. Find our natural down dog. Press into the palms, spread those fingers, thumbs a little bit closer, root a little bit more in the second and the third fingers. We're going to inhale. Let's draw that left leg high, about hip height, and kind of rotate that left hip inward just a bit. Firm that right hip. Draw the left knee to the chest and the nose as you place the left foot next to the left hand. Lower the right knee to the ground. And we'll come up, hands to the hips, and now lower into beautiful low lunge. Anjaneyasana. Draw that front hip back, back hip forward. I like to actually press through that back foot to help me draw that right hip forward. Gently release. This is where the left elbow or shoulder is coming inside the left knee here, and then the fingertips to the ground. And we explore connecting to this back leg, eventually clasping that inner arch, because we're really releasing the quadriceps here and the hip flexors as we draw the heel towards the buttocks, towards the outer hip. I actually like to flip my grip, hands over my toes, elbows up, and this is a huge hip flexor release for me. We're going to stay here several breaths. Gently release. Hands on either side here. Sometimes I like just to kind of open the chest and the heart here. Kind of explore almost a little bit of a back bend. Beautiful. Hands framing the feet here. We're going to shift the hips back. I tuck the back toe. I press through the heel and I draw my sternum and chest forward. I take the blocks on either side of the foot. Beautiful. And I explore, for some of you, we explore, and this is where we really start with the heel comes out. And we explore. Beautiful. Wherever we are, we explore the Anamanasana. Front hip back, back hip forward. I obviously have it in my practice a little bit more where, and this is where I can press to the top of the back foot. I draw, root through the heel of the front foot and help me draw my front hip back, back hip forward. Beautiful. Possibly draw both arms in. Stay here 10 breaths. Gently release. Come into the ball of the back foot as we tuck the toes and we mindfully draw the heel back. Adjust the blocks here. Transition into Adho Mukha, down dog. Plenty breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale, one-legged dog. Draw that right leg high. Eka Pada, one-legged. Kapada, Adho Mukha. Draw the right knee to the chest and then place the right foot next to the right hand. Lower the back knee to the ground. Come on. Find that low lunge. Beautiful. Draw length, front hip back, back hip forward, length in the spine. Connect to the back. Gently release. This is where we explore the left elbow and shoulder kind of inside here. Fingertips to the ground and we just explore. Can I connect to that back leg? And once I can clasp that inner arch. Heel towards the buttocks. Good, and release that hip flexor. I've practiced a little bit where I can flip my grip, my hands go over the toes, my elbow comes up and I draw the heel towards that outer glute. And I really release the hip flexors. Gently release. Frame the foot. Sometimes I just explore a little bit more of a release with the upper spine, upper heart. Still squaring those hips. And I explore half splits. And maybe I take the blocks on either side. As I send those hips back, pressing through the heel and drawing the sternum and chest forward. extend that right heel out. Beautiful. Beautiful. And explore the splits. Readjust those blocks to help you kind of explore. Continue as you press to the top of the back foot. Front hip, back hip, forward. Beautiful Anamanasana. The whole body is connected. Hip flexion, hip extension, hamstrings, hip flexors, the whole body, the spine. Everything is connected in this glorious posture. Talk about inner strength, talk about kindness, practicing this posture. There's so many benefits from this posture. Beautiful. Gently release wherever we are. We tuck those back toes, mindfully transition, even utilizing the core as we transition. We come into beautiful down dog here. Cleansing breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Try to get the heels closer to the ground. Lowering the knees to the ground. Beautiful. We're going to explore lying down spinal twist. We've got the wall here. Let's utilize the wall. We'll start with the right leg, the right foot, kind of the ball of the foot pressed onto the wall here. And we're drawing the left knee to the chest. We're going to guide the left knee over to the right here. We're going to come on to the right hip, and we're going to press that left shoulder down. Gaze over that left shoulder. Beautiful. So it's a beautiful spinal twist. As you push into the wall, kind of leverage that rotation as you look over the left shoulder. Often the exhale is a little bit deeper than the inhale on these longer holds at the end. Just release the upper and the middle back in this beautiful twist. Gently come back center. Maybe adjust your props a little bit if you get them out of the way, right? We're going to press now that left kind of the ball of the foot here and draw that right knee up. We're going to guide that right knee up and over, and we come onto that left hip here. And we press into the ball of that left foot, and then we take the left hand on the right knee and then take the right hand towards the ground here. Press the palm into the ground and gaze over that right shoulder. We'll stay here 10 breaths. Gently release. Let's breathe in evenly. We're gonna come up to a seated position. We'll breathe evenly into our forward fold, Paschimottanasana. If we have a hard time seated straight, this is sometimes where we sit on a block or a blanket to help us rotate that pelvis forward. Some of us, a strap nearby helps us. I like to keep those outer edges of the feet rotated back. And some of us with deeper flexibility might even take a block. I like to do 2 blocks. And that also reminds me, keep my outer edges of my feet engaged. Engage the quadriceps to release the hamstrings. Inhale, draw both arms up. Exhale, reach forward. 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches farther than I think I can reach. And then I let go, hunker down into that beautiful forward fold. Keep the outer edges of the feet rotated back. Keep the arches of the feet engaged. And engage those quadriceps to release the backside of the body. We're going to hold extra long. If you kind of want to sink in and relax a little bit more, you can. We're going to hold 1 more minute. Breathing evenly, surrendering into the pose. Inhale and rise. Cleansing breath together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Preparing for our Shavasana. Letting everything go. I like to sometimes reach my arms over my head, almost my feet towards the wall. It's almost like I'm clasping a hold of someone's ankles. One last neutralization of the spine here. Let everything go as I nestle down into our Shavasana. It's a beautiful flow today. It was so fun to explore with you guys. The inner strength that we all have. The kindness that we're all capable of. Through inner strength, through kindness, this is where we cultivate the inner light. When we have that inner light, we can find the light in others, which is the meaning of Namaste. Let everything go. Relax the palms, relax the feet, nestle the shoulders sometimes a little bit more into the mat. Let everything go. And I want you to stay here 5, 10, 15 minutes, as long as you